4123.
hang off the end of our turntable. For this, we do ask that everyone please remain well behind that yellow safety line at all times. Once again, please remain behind that yellow safety line, well behind it at all times.
We can't be on the behind it.
Your locomotive today is Southern Railway number 4501. This locomotive was built in 1911 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for freight service on the Southern Railway. It is an MS1 class Mikado steam locomotive, Mikado being its wheel arrangement a 282. What that means, there were 2 small pilot wheels here in the front of the locomotive, 8 large driving wheels, and 2 small trailing wheels under the cab of the locomotive. Now, like I said, this locomotive was built in 1911 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works for the Southern Railway. It is the 4501. It was the first of the MS class built for use on the Southern Railway. It was joined by 181 sister locomotives, and out of the 182, the 4501 is the only one that did not meet the scrapper's torch. So you're looking at the last Southern Railway MS1 class steam locomotive left in existence. Now we do have to perfectly center this locomotive on the turntable or we are not able to turn. And we are spotted on the turntable, so I'd like to point out one gentleman. This is your engineer, Andrew. Everybody say hi, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Andrew's the one that ran you here to East Chattanooga today. On the other side of the cab, once he comes around, everybody give a wave to your fireman, Tyler. He's the one that fed your locomotive with coal for this trip to East Chattanooga. Now, like I said, after being built in 1911 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works for the Southern Railway, this locomotive would see not much service on the Southern Railway. It would be retired in 1948. In 1949, it would be sold to a small branch line based out of Stearns, Kentucky, the Kentucky and Tennessee Railway. The reason it would be retired from the Southern Railway was to be replaced with a modern diesel-electric locomotive. In 1964, it would meet the same fate on the Kentucky and Tennessee Railway, being retired in favor of a modern diesel-electric locomotive. In 1964, the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum would purchase this 4501 for the small price of $5,000. Now, the reason that diesel locomotives would replace locomotives like the 4501 here is for one reason and one reason only, and that is money. It is far cheaper to operate a steam locomotive than it is to operate a diesel locomotive. Diesel locomotives require less fuel, less work, and less maintenance. So even if this is your first visit with us here at the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum, you've probably seen some of our equipment before in the past. We are very often involved in Hollywood films and music videos. We've been involved in the making of films such as October Sky, Fool's Parade, Leatherheads, Water for Elephants, and most recently 42 with Chadwick Boseman and Harrison Ford. The 4501 here has had some screen time as well. The 4501 would be featured in a Johnny Cash television series known as Riding the Rails. Our locomotive is now lined with track number 2. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why are we lined up with track number 2 if our train sits on track 1? That's so we can perform what is known as a runaround. Now, what that means is that our locomotive is going to go past our train and then through a switch. It will then reverse back through that switch and recouple to the end of our train. So what was the front is now the back and vice versa. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that will be the conclusion of our turntable demonstration. How about a quick round of applause for your crew? We couldn't do this without them. For those of you that would like, we do have our back shop.
so now at our ticket window. We hope you enjoy your visit today, and we want to thank you for riding with the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum.
Alright,